Hello and welcome everybody, it's Karen. I have to apologize for not getting a video up this last month, but I have been sick for the entire last half of February and this first part of March, and I've had zero crafty mojo. I haven't even come into my craft room for most of that time. So to jumpstart my mojo, I went and bought these Lisa Horton embossing folder and stencils. Now, Lisa Horton has lots of beautiful embossing folders, and I've looked at them for a long time. I just haven't got around to buying any. So this is the Mariposa set. There are 9 stencils in this stencil pack, which is amazing. Now, she has a stencil platform that these little holes line up on. They're little pegs, I think, that these stencils go on, so they all line up. But I don't have that. So I am just penciling in where those little holes are. I've left my card stock a little bit larger than the stencil purposely. And I just taped my stencils down one after another. So once I had those circles marked, I knew where they had to go. And I just taped it down. Now each stencil is numbered. You can't see it very well in the video, but at the top of each one there is a number, so you know the order that they all go in. And honestly, I didn't leave too much coloring in of the stencils. I'm sure you've seen that in other videos before. But you could choose to do a rainbow of butterflies. You could choose to do an ombre look of butterflies. Like each butterfly, you could do darker in certain areas. You could shade, different colors in. So each time I put the next level of stencil on, I just lined up those holes. And typically you would put a lighter color of ink down first, and then you would go over with a darker ink like this layer here. So that's, I believe, the second layer. This was the third. So all the little bodies go on, and I just used a distress ink for that. Now this layer is the fourth one, and it was kind of fun. I think you could use a texture paste. You can see how the bodies get these really fun little dots on the bodies, I guess. I used my black glaze pen for this, and I washed it off right away after. It did come off, so I think that would be a doable, but I would definitely wash it right away. But you could put a texture paste on instead. I just thought that was really quite fun. So you can see those little dots there. So here I've gone through all the layers and added in different colors. And that's how it turned out. So I have not embossed this yet. It's still flat. And then to emboss it now, it's simple. I trimmed it down, so you can see I've trimmed off all the edges. The butterflies will only go one way, so you'll know if you're putting it in the right way or not. So I did mist the back of it with a bit of water, just to soften up the fibers. And then I find it easiest to just line it up against the front, and I sort of wiggled it around a bit till I thought I had it right. I kind of was off a bit at the bottom, but I don't think you really noticed too much. And here it is. It's beautiful when it comes out. There's so much texture there, and I just want to rub my fingers over it because it just really is, there's lots of texture. Now, I wanted to go back in and do a bit more, so I have these markers that I've had since I think last Black Friday. They are really fun. I list them. They're from Amazon, but you can see they go on white card or black cards. They're a metallic marker. They're water-based. They're the kind that you shake up and then you depress the cap or the tip to get the ink to start flowing. Now this blue one had dried up a little bit, and so I'm going to show you what I have been doing. I don't know if it's the right thing or not. I think it's just that nib gets a bit dry. So I just mist a little bit of water. I'm using a cap there, and I just kind of soak it in that water for, I don't know, a minute or so. And then I just take it out and I scribble off on some extra scrap card and then try depressing the tip again. And sometimes it takes a couple of times, so you can see there that ink was starting to flow again. And so I just, that's what I've been doing, and they work beautifully. I've used them on acetate. They're beautiful on acetate. You can use them inside your stencils, so you could outline a stencil with them there, and there's so many colors in that pack. Really quite fun. So I'm just showing you a few here. Now this one wasn't working terribly well. I think because it had the water, I should probably have scribbled it off a little bit more. But it really is quite fun. And it's a very pearlescent-y metallic shine to it. So I took a few different colors to that. You can see there, you can see that shine, and it washed off the stencil beautifully. So no problem. So they are water soluble. So I put the stencil back on, and I wanted to use this Liquitex Gloss Heavy Gel. It will dry clear, but it gives a really nice shine. And so I just wanted to highlight a few of those butterflies. So I just used this layer of stencil and cleaned everything up. And then I came back while that Liquitex was still wet and just sprinkled on some glitter dust that's from Distress. I think it's Vintage Platinum, I think it's called. I'll link everything down below. And then I set that aside to dry, and here's how it turned out. So you can see the glossiness of those few butterflies with the glitter on them. I just thought that was kind of fun. Now, I did a second panel as well. So here you can see, this one I've put some Nuvo Moonstone Glimmer Paste on a few of those butterflies there. And they were slightly different colors as well. So that was the two different panels side by side. Now, I'm sure you've seen on the internet where everybody goes in with a black Sharpie and they fill in the background. I didn't want it to be black because the antennae were all black. So I'm using a gold gel pen, and I'm just tracing around those butterflies, which is super easy because they're very dimensional. And then I'm just coloring in between. And this probably took 10 or 15 minutes to do. It really was quick. And there it is when it's all filled in. See, it's almost as if you've done it on a gold metallic paper. So I thought that was kind of a fun effect. And the other one I left white. So there they are side by side, and you can see all that. That texture is amazing. So I've turned these into a couple of cards for you. So here is the gold one. I just matted that on a gold mirror foil and added the sentiment. I did add a few gold pearls here and there. And then the second one, I just cut on the diagonal, matted it on a black cardstock. From the top that I cut off, I cut out those few butterflies. There's also one on the inside there, and then I just added the sentiment, and I thought that was kind of a fun little card. So 2 birthday cards, very cheerful birthday cards with all those butterflies. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.